Hello and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Newsmax Health. Right now we're talking with board-certified neurosurgeon, author, and editor of the Blaylock Wellness Report, Dr. Russell Blaylock. Dr. Blaylock, we want to discuss something that you say takes real courage to talk about in the medical world. One example of someone who shows us his courage is Suzanne Somers, and you go into depth on this topic in your special report, Dispelling Myths about Alternatives for Cancer Treatment. Dr. Blaylock, you are known for blazing your own trail in the world of medicine. What is it like for you and people like Suzanne Somers who take a stand against the medical establishment?
Well, they don't like it very much. And, most of what we do is we search the literature and go straight to the research rather than listening to the hype put out by the pharmaceutical companies that's making billions of dollars off the cancer industry. So this is all based purely on the research, what we know about cancer, what we know improves the survival of cancer, prevents its spread. This is hard science we deal in.
Well, Suzanne Somers, in fact, featured you and your wellness report in her book, Knockout. You talked about how prevention is often overlooked or even ignored. Why do you think that is?
Well, like I say, there's a lot of money to be made in people suffering from cancer. The pharmaceutical companies are making billions, tens of billions of dollars. The doctors don't really understand this hard science. It's pretty difficult science. But we know that at least 80% of cancers are purely dietary environmental exposure causation. And that if you correct that, you can prevent a huge number of cancers, particularly the more common cancers that are very resistant to treatment.
Well, in your report, Dispelling Myths about Alternative Treatments for Cancer, you talk about some alternative treatments for cancer. And why haven't most of us heard about those treatments?
Well, of course, this is going to cut into the profits of these companies. I mean, the average patient that is treated for cancer, even though the doctor knows that after metastasis, that is, once the cancer spreads, only 10 to 15% of patients are going to have any significant response to treatment. So that means the vast majority of patients aren't going to respond at all, and the treatment may make them die faster. Well, they don't want you to know that because each one of these treatments is costing close to $1 million before the patient finally succumbs to the disease. So if I have a simple way by dietary change and certain supplements that can prevent the spread of cancer, prolong survival, or cure patients, they don't want that known. That's going to be something that's going to severely impact their profits.
One thing that I also found fascinating is you say there might be a way to trick your body into healing itself. What is one way that people can start down that road?
Well, one is changing your diet. We know that, as I said, 70 to 80% of cancers are caused by diet. One of the things we eat a lot of is omega-6 type fats. They're pro-inflammatory. Well, we now know that cancers are caused by chronic inflammation. So Americans are eating 50 times more of these types of fats than they should be eating, and therefore they're getting a lot of cancer. And when we compare populations of people in the world that eat a lot of anti-inflammatory fats, the extra virgin olive oil, for instance, their incidence of cancer is extremely low. Even for their heavy smokers, the incidence of lung cancer is infinitely lower than anywhere else in the world.
Sadly, most of us will be affected by cancer. We'll be diagnosed ourselves or a family member will be. And because of the millions of people who will be touched by this disease, we are going to give today's viewers a free copy of Dr. Blaylock's special report, Dispelling Myths about Alternative Treatments for Cancer. We'll show you how you can claim your free copy in just a second, but first I want to highlight more of the important information you can benefit from in Dr. Blaylock's report. You'll learn about some folk remedies that offer hope. Dr. Blaylock also reveals a new potential breast cancer risk in young girls and why men who suffer from chronic fatigue syndrome are at a higher risk of developing prostate cancer. So to unlock all this vital information and much more, just click on the orange button below this presentation to claim your free copy of Dr. Blaylock's special report, Dispelling Myths about Alternative Treatments for Cancer. Also in this offer, we are including Suzanne Somers' book, Knockout, interviews with doctors who are curing cancer and how to prevent getting it in the first place. But I must tell you, we only have a few copies of the special report available, and when they're gone, they are gone. So don't wait. Claim your free copy now.